everybody doesn't read the Bible. Everybody doesn't read the Quran or these different things. I learned what a calling was. That's a different word. People don't use that word every day. That's a word that I learned through church, through my parents, because that was their vocabulary. So I ended up understanding what a calling meant. A lot of these kids don't know what a calling is. What is that? You know what I mean? So I learned what my calling was after I understood that God calls people and that He has also called me to a work to be done. And so as He's called me to something, that's when I started searching for what is my calling. And then I started hearing other people ask the same questions like, you have to know your calling. If you work within your calling, you have all your blessings and this and that, and life will have purpose and this and those things. But like, I don't know what my calling is. And so the more I started hearing about the calling, I started learning about the calling. And then that's when I started understanding what my calling was. It was who I was way back then. But I had circumstances and I had life situations and trials and tribulations that caused me to operate outside of my calling, which got me lost, and it has us lost. So we have to get back into the mindset of finding our purpose and our calling. And it is going to be something true to the nature of who you are from the beginning, before you got saved and while you're saved, when you were a child and now while you're an adult. It was always there. It was always in you. And now you understand that the calling of work that you have to do is based on what has already been in you. That's why you realize everything you've been through was not wasted, because you did it with that same gift that's supposed to be used for this same calling that you found. You were just doing it outside of the calling. You were doing it for the world and in the world. So we lose ourselves in what God has called us to do. When I came back into the obedience and the structure of what God required of my life, I began to see my calling He placed in me more clearly. And that let me know the things He placed in me from birth are still in me today. And now that has made my work more clear and my calling more clear. And so now I can faithfully and I can truthfully say that I have answered the call, and I'm working and I'm walking in my calling.